Alright, so we can now register a user, which will get saved into the database, and then what it does is it redirects us to user's login. Okay, now this method doesn't exist yet, so let's go on over to our user controller, and we're going to need a register method. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. Okay, so this is going to be, did I say register? I meant login. Okay, and all we need to change is this to login. Alright, save that. Then let's go to our model, and for right now we're going to create a function called login, and we're just going to return. Alright, that should get rid of that message. Okay, so this is the login view. Let's go to views, users, login, and I'm going to copy what we have in the register form. Okay, we'll just change this to login. We'll say user login. Okay, action, that's fine. This is going to be our email. Actually, the email, all we have to do is get rid of name. Okay, so then we have our email, password, and submit. Alright, so that's good. There's our login form, and now let's go back to our model, user model, and then down here in login, I'm going to copy what we have in register. Okay, so we're going to sanitize post, and then we're going to encrypt the password that's being passed in. Alright, and then submit. Let's just test it out. Alright, so that works. We know that it's going through. Now what we'll do is we need to change this up a little. We'll say we'll say compare login, and then here let's see, I'm gonna just get rid of this whole statement. Okay, so our query is now going to be select all from users where email is equal to :email and password is equal to :password. Okay, so then we got to bind these values, which we're doing. I'm just going to get rid of this name. Okay, so we're binding the email. Now we're going to have to create an extra function in our base model to get a single record, because this should only bring back one. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll copy one of these. Okay, so this will be single, and what we're going to do is say return this. Actually, no, we want to run execute. So this execute, and then we want to run the fetch method. Okay, so return this statement, fetch. Alright, and we're going to use associative array, so we can copy this. Okay, so the only difference from result set is we're using fetch instead of fetch all. Okay, because we're getting one record. So let's save that, and then we can go back to the user model, and I'm gonna get rid of this. Actually, I'll copy that. Okay, so after the bind, let's create a variable called row, and we're going to set it equal to this single. Alright, and then what we want to do is check for that row. So we'll say if row, and for now we'll just echo. Okay, so we'll say echo logged in, else incorrect login. All right, now not in this video, but in another one, we're going to create a message class or a message object so that we can neatly display messages instead of echoing them out at the top of the page. But for now, let's just do that. All right, so let's see. We'll just put in something at something.com, password something. Okay, so we're getting incorrect login. Now, I think we used brad.gmail. And let's try with a password that's not correct. Okay, so that didn't work. brad@gmail.com. Logged in. Yeah, see, that's not. Let's look at the form. Okay, email, we have name. Oh, I have link for the name and password. That should do it. Okay, so login, let's try brad@gmail and just anything. Incorrect login. Okay, so now we'll do brad@gmail and the correct login. And no, that didn't work. Let me just open up PHP My Admin. Okay, so if we go to ShareBoard and then users, okay, that's going to be the password. Oh, I think I used the wrong one. Okay, you know what I'm going to do is register another user. All right, so name, we'll say John Doe, email, let's say test@test.com, and then for the password we'll say test. Alright, so we know that the user is registered, and like I said before, we're going to create a message class so that it'll tell us that. But now let's try to log in, so test@test.com and then test. Submit, and we get incorrect login. Alright, well let's look and see. Oh, it's the same. The password, it's always the same. Alright, so let's check register. And, oh, okay. We have link here. That's been the issue all along. Alright, so I'm going to delete these two users. Okay, so we just didn't change the name of the password field from link. So now everything should be okay. So let's put my name and then we'll do email brad@gmail.com and 1 2 3 4 5 6. Submit. Okay, user's now registered, so let's go log in. Let's say brad@gmail.com. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Submit. And okay, so now we're getting logged in. Alright, now we're not actually logged in because we haven't created that functionality, but we know that the logic for the login works. Alright, so now, let's see. What we're going to want to do is create some session values. Okay, so for this, I'm going to get rid of that. So if everything's alright, then we're going to say session is logged in. Session is logged in is going to be equal to true. Alright, and then we're also going to set an array. So this will be session user data. Okay, and we'll set that to an array. Oops, I don't want to do that. Inside of the array here, will have an ID, and that's going to be, oops, that's going to be row ID, so it's going to be the ID we pull out of the database. All right, and then we'll also have the name, and the email. Okay, so if we do this, when the user logs in, we'll have access to all of these fields to do whatever we want with. All right, for instance, since we have the name, we can say welcome and then the user's name. We can have the ID for when the user adds a share, we can put the user's ID in, which is what we're going to do. So that's good, and then we just want to redirect after that. All right, so I'm just going to grab this, and let's put that right here, and we want to go to shares. Okay, so we log in, it's correct, it's going to set the session values and then redirect us. Okay, so let's save that. Now, when we're logged in, we don't want the login and register to show. Okay, so let's go to our main layout, which is in views and then main.php. And we're going to go down to the navbar right area where we have login and register. And we're going to open up PHP tags, and we're going to do an if. Okay, so let's say if is set session is logged in. Okay, if it's set, then we're going to do something, and then we're going to say PHP else, then we're going to do this. Okay, so if we're not logged in, we're just going to see login and register like we have been. Now I'm going to copy this, and let's put this here. Alright, and then for this one, I'm going to take that off so it just goes to the root URL. And we want to just put a welcome and then the user's name. Alright, so let's say welcome, and then we want to do PHP echo session name. Alright, and then this one here is going to be our logout link. That's going to go to users logout. Alright, so let's save that. Now, when you're working with sessions, you need to declare that you want to start it. Alright, and that needs to be on every page that you want to use sessions on. So what we're going to do is go to our index file, because we know that this is always run. Alright, everything is just included from here. So we're going to go to the very top, and let's say start session, and we're going to use a function called session start. Alright, and that's going to run for every page. Alright, so we can save that, exit out. Now let's go ahead and try it. Okay, so we'll say, whoops, brad@gmail, password, submit, and now you can see up here we have welcome and logout. Now this should be giving us the name. Let's see, what did I do wrong here? Echoes, oh, we need to, it's the user data array, I forgot about that. So we should be able to say user data name, hopefully. Yep, there we go. Okay, so it gives us our name. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to be able to log out. So let's go create that. We're going to have to go to the user's controller. Alright. And let's see. Okay, whoops, I forgot function. Okay, function logout. And then what we're going to do is we're going to unset each session, or each session value. So this one will be session is logged in, and then also the user data. Alright, and then just to be safe, we're also going to call session destroy, which will kill all session variables. And then we just want to redirect. Okay, we'll just go to our root URL. Actually, I'm going to make this single quotes, and then we can just say root URL. Alright, so let's go ahead and save that. Actually, you know what? I think actually, no, that should be fine. We don't need to add it to our model because we're not using any kind of view. So let's just reload that and click logout. And it takes us back to the index page, and you can see now we have login and register again. So I'm going to stop the video here. In the next one, we're going to make it so that we can't add a share without being logged in, because right now we're not logged in, but we can still add a share. So we're going to do that, and we're also going to create our message class, which will give us little messages. Let's say if we log in and we give the wrong login, we want it to show up here in a nice alert. Alright, so we'll get into that next.